Right, so for any of you wondering why the bypass valve is being done the way I am doing it, I am about to show you. Right guys, so today I'm going to show you why this doesn't work without the vacuum delay valve. So I created this little one-way circuit for vacuum to travel down to slow down the closing of the bypass valve. What was happening was if it closed too fast, the car, well, it seemingly couldn't work out the fuel mixture. So what we're doing today is I'm going to show you exactly what the engine does when the bypass valve closes too quickly. I'm going to show you it with the vacuum delay system, and I'm going to show you it without the vacuum delay system. I'm going to try and keep it simple, but I want to explain to you guys that may consider putting a BOV on. Now, I have seen people put 50mm tile BOVs on these cars, but I haven't seen whether they've had any success with doing that. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying this style of valve works a lot better for this application, particularly as a few of you watching this are having problems with your supercharger engagement system, so the clutch pulley and the bypass valve. The problem is, if you're on stock management, you can't really work around that, so this would be an ideal solution. And as I've said to some of you, I'm happy to help talk through how to make that if you feel handy enough to do that, and how to make the vacuum delay system, because the age of these cars, the electronics are getting more and more degraded over time, is the best way to put it. So let's get into this. Right, so obviously there we have a standard bypass valve, and with a cliche click of the fingers we shall have the other valve. And there we go, we've got that one fitted. The stock one's going to be hidden out of the way. Got the delay circuit in line. Now the first run is going to be with the delay circuit in place. Then I'll take it out and show you exactly what the car does. And it's not very pleasant. Some of you will have already experienced it, but those of you thinking about doing this, I'll show you why it has to be done this way. Right, so I'm driving now with the vacuum operated bypass valve. I've got it, actually I want to go straight ahead, I've got it set with the vacuum delay system in. So the first test, like I said, is going to be with the vacuum delay system, and the second test is going to be without it. So it behaves pretty normal. At the moment there's still a slight hiccup there because I didn't adjust the valve as far back as it should be, really, but I wanted the valve to work in a fully closed position as well as a fully open position. I didn't want it to always be left with a gap so it's bleeding boost off all the time. So we're going to get down here, and I'm going to pull onto a side road, because the side road's the best thing for how badly this responds without having the actual delay valve in there. So yeah, we'll get there in a second. Right guys, so this is with the vacuum delay valve removed. Let's see what the car does without it. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. So down that low end there, when you're pulling off, it doesn't work. But if you plant it, it works fine. It's absolutely bizarre way of working, but that's how this system works. You have to delay the system in order for it to function anything like the standard bypass valve, because in a normal situation what the bypass valve is doing is actually breathing air through the bypass valve. So the engine's breathing the air through the bypass valve whilst the supercharger isn't engaged. So if we take that valve, and as soon as it shuts, then it cannot breathe through it, so it stifles the engine, it starves the engine of air and causes misfires. So the way to cure this is simply only with a vacuum delay circuit, and that's exactly what I've done here, and that's the reason that I've done it the way I have. So I hope you guys find this useful. I know it's the bypass valve again, but it's something so many of you want to know and want to do. I know when I first got my first compressor car, it was one of the first things I went to, and everybody's going to think the same thing, that you can just put a BOV on it because it's forced induction. But unfortunately with superchargers that isn't the case, and we have to do things slightly differently, particularly with the Bosch management. So again, hope you find it useful. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.